50 minutes or something. So I don't trust it.
Don't trust it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Purge. We'll come back to you at the end of the game, Kyle.
They need good lanes, like real good lanes. I fear for them because every hero is going to need a BKB. How does Razor itemize for this game if he's not super far ahead? Because he's going to need armor, he needs a BKB, he's going to want some item to progress himself. It just feels like as long as Tundra don't lose all 3 lanes, can play with a little bit of pace, they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I guess the key thing Tundra has demonstrated that they can keep games going quite long. They've pretty much always kept the games like 2-1. Like they've played, I think, the 70-minute game or something.
Yep, the secret game with the Giants Ring of the
exactly.
King. Yeah,
So
that was them.
if they can install that idea and not get kind of baited into these early fights, they should be fine. But if they fall victim to the aggression and the need to react every time, then I can see, of course, Nigma rolling it. But
Zoom camera, mind control. He's the man that dictates the pace of this game.
All right, let's focus on the tempo that Team Nigma can set and on mind control specific for this first game of the series. Let's head over to our commentary team of Cap and BSJ for the game.
Boy, it seems like BSJ that our panel did not agree with Nigma's choice of heroes. What do you feel about it? Is we're probably going to get some very early action here. Both teams running in.
Yeah, Razor's just such a boring hero, man. I think that's why we don't see it very often. I don't think he's as bad as his pick rate would say, but who wants to play Razor? They gave him a bunch of reworks, and then they just made his third ability bonus move speed. Who wants that? But he does remove PA as a win condition, because even though PA does have a escape mechanism against the Link, you don't want to blink into fights really ever. So Razor, I'm looking for Weehaw to basically be positioning himself in fights such that PA never really feels comfortable committing. But the issue is if they eventually get enough burst damage to just threaten the Razor without the PA committing, then his game plan becomes really hard. But word on the street is that Miracle might be playing a little bit more mid as we go forward in this tournament. So this may be something we see more of with Weehaw safe lane and Miracle on heroes such as the Void Spirit.
And where is that word on the street coming from?
Hey man, I can't disclose my stories. You know, I just
okay, I can respect it.
Let's just say going into this draft, I was under the impression Miracle was going mid, and so it was pretty funny to hear panel be like, "What? Void Spirit carry?" And all that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, let's see how Miracle does it. Like, why do you think there is this changeup?
I think this patch carry is really passive. Most games you have to wait until at least 15 minutes or so to feel really impactful in the game. And I just don't think it necessarily fits the way Miracle likes to play. Like, yeah, he doesn't mind playing the anti-mages and the Medusas. He obviously does just fine on those heroes. But I think he's much better on the Ember Spirits, the Void Spirits. Like, that's what his comfort zone lies. And I think that's what they need in the team more so, if that's a permanent change they're going to make.
Okay, so you think this is very much a personal preference? Because the panel was talking about how Nigma has tended to drafting these harder carries for Miracle and kind of playing a style that is sort of for Protect 1.
Yeah, I think that Miracle, like I said, can play that way. I don't know, watching him, you can kind of just tell he flourishes in games where he's like the PL with a defusal at 11 minutes and he's battled. You know, even though PL is a hard carry, he wants to be participating that early on in the game. And even as heroes like Anti-Mage and Medusa, you can do that sometimes. But I think if, with this patch specifically, the mid lane is just so active. And I think Miracle's kind of proven he can just play whatever.
Maybe a bit of frustration boiling over after losing 3 series in a row. They lost to YGG, Secret, and then OG most recently. So Nigma probably feeling like something's got to change up a little bit here. And we'll see if this does the trick against Tundra.
Yeah, Miracle's doing well so far. Ahead by 5 CS in the mid lane. Void Spirit seems to pretty much free farm in like 90% of his matchups, which something about that is a problem to me.
9. He's doing all right for himself in CS, but not amazing. See what happens when it comes down to the power runes, though, because both those heroes are going to be very effective if they get the right rune.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The first rotation from the mid laners will dictate a lot of this game, because all of these side lanes are very volatile.
Oh my goodness! This poor 9. He hit Miracle like 7 times without his passive going off. There was, I think, a very small chance that maybe he could have actually killed Miracle or at least threatened him a little bit. Instead, Swashbuckles up, he's not going to get it off. First blood goes to Miracle as Nigma switching things up and putting Miracle back in the mid lane, and it feels like he's back home.
Yeah, Miracle read his horoscope. He's feeling lucky. He knew that it was written in the stars that was going to be no proc for Pango there.
Fiverr TP's all the way back home there. The lane is pushed in, so he may not be able to punish Darkseer so much. Darkseer Shadow Shaman, that's kind of a weird lane.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. The panel said they would have liked the Pango 4 position more. I guess they like the Darkseer for the game plan. It is somewhat of a steroid for PA, which makes Skeeter's game more potent in the mid game because he has more farming items. And also, it's the team fight aura builder you lacked. Can potentially build like Crimson Guards or the Guardian Greaves against the Beastmaster, which most heroes often struggle, even carries, tank through that in the mid game. So that could be really nice for them.
Regen rune for Miracle. Not getting any help from his supports on this side. Fada pretty much just been stuck in lane, and he's like our Shadow Shaman wasn't able to make the kind of rotation to secure the power rune. So Miracle off of that first blood, he's going to hold a clear advantage in this mid lane, and it's not looking great in some of the other lanes either, where Nigma is slightly ahead in every single one of them.
Yeah, I have to imagine Razor, even though it's not the most standard pick, we've seen some potent 10th pick Razors, and since he's a ranged hero with decent wave clear, he should pretty much just free farm against Darkseer. So if they know they can pick a hero that eliminates the win condition for the opponent team and also have a secured lane, it seems like a pretty decent pick to me.
Curl standing toe-to-toe against Fiverr here, trying to challenge for the bounty rune. As a result, he'll miss out on both of them here. Curl's going to come right back. The ward just being placed, though. Sees it coming and back up accordingly. Seems like Curl was hoping to get the rotation from Miracle a little bit sooner. Miracle may be focusing on trying to use his advantages. He's got that level 6 over 9 right now. If he can kill this Pango again, setting yourself up for some serious success, especially against 9, one of his signature heroes in the Pango that fared so well for him in NA. It looks like he did try and go for it, but 9 barely managed to get his level 6 here, and he's doing some good amount of damage to Miracle. Miracle is actually going to die.
Close. He laid the Ether Remnant, and that Pangolier roll went off maybe 0.1 seconds before it laid. That was, pins and needles for both heroes.
Close call, but this now swings that mid lane matchup that was going very well the other direction. Fiverr, unfortunately, not a good situation for him there. Keep running, you take more impetus damage. Don't keep running, and the Razor keep chasing you down, so he loses life there. In the
that is interesting synergy there, actually.
Yeah.
Which way would you like to die? You know.
Well, he opts to give it away to the carry, which may not be the best idea. They're immediately going to see if they can make a go on to Miracle here. Just making use of the support rotation. He fills up the bottle. Maybe we can get some damage on Miracle. If not, no harm, no foul.
The funny part about that is how often do you think people lane against Enchantress Razor? As we see a rotation bottom from 9.
Yeah, and this is going to be a big rotation if they can actually stay in front. Look at these body blocks here from Fada. The Rolling Thunder is going to ensure the kill here as somebody's got it taken, and will be 9. Playing the last hit there. Skeeter kind of had to play the back line there as he'd already taken so much damage. In fact, they're still trying to get aggressive on him as Miracle is going to be coming over here. The Impale actually dodged by Skeeter. Really good sidestep. The sounds went out. Miracle's still going to be able to chase him down, though. Skeeter falls. Miracle still has one more actual step to make use of. You can see he doesn't want to use that ability. He doesn't have to. Instead, pops the Dissimulate to be able to get away.
It seems really nice to have a mid laner that can rotate and kill Beastmaster 4/6. Any ultimate base mobility spell is really nice because the boar makes it difficult to close the gap. So Pangolier makes a lot of sense in the draft coming out from Tundra, as Fiverr is going to eat the dust top, and I feel like this lane synergy between the Razor and Chantress. Oh, okay, I don't have any time to talk bottom. We got some more stuff going on.
Yeah,
Bottom
they're gonna
refill
fight
for 9.
again. They're not done with it. They want to kill this Beastmaster a second time before he can hit his level 6. But Miracle's still been hanging around, so Tundra can't exactly go full hog here and take a battle. Instead, they just two mid laners.
Top, meanwhile,
Yeah. Oh, you know, that last hit was not quite enough. Weehaw wanted to back away to make sure he was safe as Fauna TP'd in. So, Hastrun popped by Miracle here as he sees Fiverr, man. He's having a rough go of it this game between the Razor lane, then he shows up mid, tries to get a little bit of experience and almost immediately dies.
Do you attack with static link when you're disabled?
That is a good question.
I actually don't know. I'll keep an eye out for it. I'm curious if it's really good against Shaman for that reason.
Yeah, that might actually be a very real thing here. As 9 gets on a killing spree, find Kuro. Tried to plant a deep ward there. And
The way they're playing, Weeha's pretty much in a 1v1. So I'm curious if they're going to make a little bit of a lane swap to start the game, if this was kind of their intent. Just because he's safe lane doesn't mean he's not getting the mid lane treatment, as Miracle is just running around the map and Weeha's enjoying the fruits of this 1v1 with 2 solo kills, or 1 solo kill with 1 pretty much free kill handed to him. The beauty of Razor is when you get kills, you don't usually have to invest many resources. With a lot of other safe laners, you have to use a lot of health and mana to trade in order to get these kills. But with Razor, you're just chasing people down and they have no choice to fight you back.
Yeah, and as a result, he hasn't left this safe lane. He's going to do so now, as he did get a good read. Kuro, he went out there and died, but he did get some very aggressive wards, and those wards give Weeha the information, all the information he needs to be able to know this is coming.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
As a result, they'll actually take the safe lane tower first on the side of Nigma.
Yeah, after all that battling bottom and you just see no Tundra heroes bottom, you feel pretty confident,
Dire's
even if you
top
didn't have a
tower
ward,
is
that
under attack.
they're doing something.
Yeah, the worst thing you could do as a carry, right, Brian, is to still be in your safe lane at this point in the game. I believe you like to call
I
red
believe
lane.
it's really bad if you end up dead.
Rolling on out. Weeha, he's going to start taking away some of the damage from 9 while he's stunned up, but he's not going anywhere. It looks like he is just going to be controlled up and pretty easily killed. A very big kill, as we were just talking about. Weeha making that nice read, avoiding a death on a carry that he's been free farming, and then all of a sudden he's caught next to the enemy team's triangle. What's with that?
He just got overly aggressive for the bounty rune at 10 minutes. His inner mid laner channeling, and maybe a little bit too much. As I did learn, you don't attack with static link when you are disabled. At least that was what I learned from that engagement. So that's a good confirmation. Thank you, Weehaw. He was just testing it out for us.
Yeah, very, very nice guy of him. Fiverr.
He heard me.
We're gonna watch him receive his 4th death. Whew. I got a feel for that, man. He's just not, because Shadow Shaman needs some levels. You gotta have some space to work with this hero. You gotta at least get your level 6 so you can roll up and hit that mid lane tower or something. But he just hasn't been able to get any space.
I just can't believe the Shadow Shaman that was laning with the Dark Seer. I feel like it's really having any impact.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Your sarcasm, very on point, Ian. Well, 2,000 net worth lead for Nigma still, as they start pressuring
Radiant
the top tower now. An
fortified.
off-lane tower push. Don't normally see that too often, but I guess they do
Radiant's
have
top
it. It's
tower
kind of
is under
free with an
attack.
Enchantress and Razor. Should be able to get themselves out. Rotations come on by.
Yeah, really good map distribution from Nigma. They already took the tower for Beastmaster's lane, so he wants to farm up that book 3 as soon as possible. He's just going to push in the lane safely with his 4s, while Miracle's going to occupy the mid lane quite
Radiant's middle
survivably
tower
as a
is
Void
under
Spirit.
attack.
So, Razor, pretty much the only hero that lacks the ability to solo kill,
Dire's
as
top
well
tower
as
is
is
under
potentially
attack.
vulnerable, so they're dedicating the supports to that lane. I don't think that push was as much about taking the tower as it was just prompting a reaction.
Sure. It also helps being able to just play around that triangle area, right? It's where a PA wants to be able to AFK farm. We saw from the Tundra stacks,
Dire's middle tower
their
is
focus
under
on this
attack.
game is being able to stack up a whole lot for this PA. She gets the Battle Fury, she farms a bunch of Ancient stacks, and and goes from there. GH is going to find the opening here, just poking at the PA. Literally caps him, and it tries to TP out, but the coil is there. GH has been caught and doesn't really have a way out of this one. All he can really hope to do is just buy some time, but not very much of that is left for
Radiant's
him.
bottom tower is under attack.
I don't know. Did Skeeter steal his girl or something, or what?
You know, he just really hates that blur mechanic. He wanted it to go away for a little while.
Reveal yourself, coward.
Let's see, Boots of Travel builds up for Miracle after the hit.
Quite a greedy build. He's basically playing carry from the mid lane. When we look at the itemization style of both players, we got a BKB rush on Razor. We got the 4-hit Boots of Travel on the mid Void Spirit, quote unquote mid.
You know, I'm not trying to throw too much shade at Weehawk, but if Miracle's going to play the mid lane and also play the carry style build, what is there left for Weehawk to do?
Well, if you notice that, I think they really just want Miracle to be able to do what he did early on in the game, where he went bottom and he played really aggressively on Pangolier underneath his tower, but then build to be a carry. You know, I think that's what they're going for. I can see it. It's not too far-fetched. As they smoke up the top, looking to wrap around
Dire's middle
9 and
tower is
Viper.
under attack. Radiant's top
Gonna reveal
tower
him. The
is
Razor
under attack.
pops him out. He's immediately going to be spotted by the wards, but at the same time, 9 is going to be unable to get any abilities off thanks to that Orchid Rush from Miracle. It does cost Weehaw his life, as he kind of threw himself on the fire line there just to be able to get the vision and information for the rest of his team.
That was a nice TP by 33. Surprised they reacted the way they did. Part of me wonders if you were supposed to just give it up, and then you see the rotation from 33
Radiant's
immediately
middle
nets the kill on the
tower is
carry.
under
So
attack.
obviously he knows far better the turn potential of their lineup. As 9, he is responding with Rolling Thunder. So they're gonna probably look to
Dire's top
defend mid
tower
tower. They
is
do have
under
Roar though.
attack.
Pretty significant
Radiant's
threat to
middle tower
Pangolier.
is under attack.
Vada accidentally hits the spike carapace here and is going to be chain stunned. Quickly kills 9. He's going to make sure he gets off the Rolling Thunder this time, but rolling at such a long distance away means that he doesn't really get much more than just one bump on GH before he has to call it quits. So 15-minute bounty runes are out. You can see Nigma doing a very good job of pressuring the map, which is kind of what their lineup has to do, right, Brian?
Make my life easier.
Yeah, the funny thing about this Razor is nobody wants to go there. The funny thing about the hero is he's basically like a Doom of the safe lane. You can't lane against him 1v1. You kind of just die or get bullied away. You have to gank him with 3 or 4 heroes. And the way Nigma is playing the rest of the map makes it so Tundra can't really dedicate the resources to boot Weehaw out. Every time I look at an engagement for Nigma, I look at Weehaw and he's just chilling top by himself.
Radiant
I don't really know what
scanning.
Tundra's supposed to do about it.
Dire's
I've
top
heard this
tower is under
conversation
attack.
plenty of times from between Blitz and you. So you have the dead lane concept, right? Which is the carry doesn't want to go there. And then the original idea of the dead lane, according to Blitz, was off of Bulba and having dead lane heroes, aka heroes that you don't want to
Dire's
move
top
into their
tower
lane
is
to gank. Your Juggernauts, Life Stealers, heroes that, when it comes to the risk-reward ratio, it's just not, it doesn't feel good to move into that lane. And Razor's got to be a good example of that, right? A hero that is able to keep his safe lane and tower alive for quite some time and occupy this top area space just because it doesn't really feel that good to move up into that lane.
Yeah, it's all the heroes that trade really efficiently or represent solo kill threat on pretty much any hero in the game. You got Dooms, Necros, Timbersaws,
Radiant's
Venos,
middle tower
Vipers.
is under attack.
These are heroes that if you deal with them with one hero, it's usually just doom, literally, for that hero. So you either get to gank them as 3 or 4 or just never go there.
Oh, he doesn't get it
Miracle
off.
gets the
Miracle
Oracle.
instantly hits the Orchid as he actually steps on top of him. Now, he's not going to pop just from that, GH. We'll have to get his Vendetta hit in. That being said, 33 gets a really good wall out. If you'd only caught Miracle, it would have been even better, but sadly, the coil snap was not enough for Tundra to be able to take 2 kills for that. And Nigma, they
Dire's
still
middle
try
tower
and
is
strike
under
here,
attack.
though. They know the Miracle's hanging out here. They've got this really nice ward set up right now, and I think they're just waiting for their opportunity to be able to catch him with some sort of disable. Leon's going to come in and create a late chaos here with his fresh BKB. He's going to quickly run down Fiverr, who gets saved by the mech, but that's only going to last him an extra second or two. Vada also going to die by the wayside here as Nigma look to be able to take this tier 2 tower before the 20-minute marker.
Yeah, they're fully aware there's a ward there too. Miracle scouted with a remnant. Maybe he thought they had the book 3 nearby or something, but that was really good game sense by Miracle. He saw the Shadow Shaman walking up aggressively after having a Void Spear with an Orchid missing on the map. So he was pretty sure that they saw him or were ready to go on him, and he immediately dissimilated. If he had been caught at the start of that fight, it could have possibly been bad for Nigma, but instead, they're just pinning Tundra underneath their own towers. That's really what it feels like. The kill potential of the Void Spirit Beastmaster, the scouting of the Nyx Assassin to be a +1 for any of these ganks, and then the Razor to deter anyone from farming alone in the other lanes.
Now, BSJ, we've seen a lot of games where a team feels like they are very far ahead and they will still win that game, but it takes them, I feel like it takes teams a solid like 15 minutes of control. Like maybe it's 2 Roshans, maybe it's just like controlling the map until you get a huge lead to actually close out the game. You feel like Nigma's done oh, hold on, Skeeter, they're actually gonna go for this. The Rolling Thunder was already out from 9. The problem is he didn't hit Miracle right away, and Skeeter's already taken so much damage. He's trying to blink the way, but Weehaw is able to chase him down. Only still a bit of damage, but it'll be enough to be able to run down Viper, that's for certain. Meanwhile, 9 still hunting for that 1 kill. Is gonna chase out to get it. Miracle finally does go down. The rest of Nigma quick to retreat here now that they've lost their carry slash mid player.
Is under attack.
Happy with just a 2-for-1 exchange, I'm sure.
I think the map has just been solved for these teams since they didn't change anything about it in 7.28. So I don't necessarily know if there's a better reason than just teams know exactly what to do with the map when they're winning by like 4,000 or 5,000 net worth. And it's just incredibly reliable to execute for these tier 1 teams that rather than taking anything off the beaten path, they're just gonna do the reliable, trustworthy, tried and true.
Is under attack.
Okay, so then my follow-up to that is, do you think that Nigma, don't they have to speed things up a little bit just because they should be like, okay, PA's gonna out-carry us eventually, guys. We have to close this game out a little faster than most.
If PA with Battle Fury is allowed to hit crits, yes, she will absolutely carry you. But notice there that they're just trying to push in all the lanes and then run at the PA. So if PA is getting consistently chased around the map, we saw with Miracle against OG when he was playing Anti-Mage that even though he was the late game win condition, he was just getting ran at all game. And that's a pretty significant limitation on the farming speed of a carry. They're constantly having to be afraid, even if they're not getting ganked at all times, if they have to consider going to that next jungle camp. They can't just freely walk to it because it's close by and going to give them some gold. So Skeeter, if he manages to get 2 or 3 items this game, Nigma could absolutely lose this game, no question. But that's the big if coming out, as they look like they're trying to line up their timings. Miracle, after going for this pretty greedy build, is going for a BKB. Mind Control is also going for a BKB. And then Weehaw's going to have this Soul Cuirass. So I'm guessing towards the end of this Aegis, they're looking to have all 3 of these items come out at about the same time. And that should be a pretty solid timing for them to be able to go high ground and at least take a lane of Rax or 2 to severely limit the economy for Tundra.
I think it's always nice to be able to have these kind of 5 positions that we're seeing from Kuro. These 5s that can just kind of like run down a lane and push it a bit without any real inherent danger. And Kuro could back up if he wants to. Of course, he's currently trying to set the trap here. 9, they know what's coming. They see it off the sentry. 9's going to try and roll through as much as possible to be able to save his allies, but neither one of his supports will survive. And if he's not careful, he can get caught as well. Nigma clean up 2 and are just going to go for the full sweep here of towers in this top lane.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower.
You know, I just realized that this Darkseer cosmetic trade he has, it really does look like a fluffy. And then he bought a fluffy hat. So I feel like he's really feeling his fashion sense today. I just noticed. I don't know if you noticed that.
Kyle, is that you? Hello?
Kyle?
What's going on?
What's a random thing that has absolutely nothing to do with the game, Kyle? Looks like they're smoked up, ready to go. Skeeter doesn't have his BKB yet, but they see Nigma bottom, so they don't want to let them split up this official.
Yeah, and they got to catch him now if they want to go for it. He's going to be slowed down by the dagger.
So tanky.
He is very tanky, and they've got to kind of poke at him and immediately back away as soon as the BKB is used. They don't have anything to stop that TP out, though, so It's a slight punishment, but not really what Tundra was looking for. They would have liked some sort of team fight to kind of ease some of the pressure that's on the map right now.
It gives them control back of their triangle, so if they had not made that move, Nigma would have been pushing bottom lane and pushing in top lane, which means they just have nowhere to go. So at least it allows them to get out on the map, get a little bit of farm from the 2 lanes, maybe farm the tri-camp real quick. They stack up the Ancients for PA, probably going to be very close to his BKB. He's about 700, 800 gold off. So that's the kind of stuff where I think a lot of high-tier players, how they word it is, they can't be allowed to do this. You know, like they can't be allowed to play both side lanes, shut down our ancient camps, and be pushing bottom tower. That's giving the ME team way too much. Even if you don't get the kill, as long as you get rid of the guy controlling that area. Fada, though.
Yeah, orbing in like that against the Boots of Travel Void Spirit is probably not that great of an idea, but as you said, it pushed them away from the triangle. They stacked it, they farmed it, they now have the BK. So the end result is they do have a fighting item, and they can potentially win this high ground fight against Nigma as they approach the high ground, especially with 9 outputting that kind of damage. Miracle lost half his health to that one. He does have the Aegis, of course, and he may be trying to use it here.
Yeah, with Weehaw having to back off with that BKB usage, his time to had 300 gold off that AC. That's a pretty big deal for this high ground push. That 10 armor swing in team fights. They're actually going to chase him down, force down their BKB.
Okay, now they back away cleanly here. Mind control may still be caught. Of course, he's going to have to use his BKB up next. Does he have a TP? He does. He's going to keep running all the way across the river, and Tundra are not going to go for that chase. They choose to chill out and farm a little bit. Fada may be dying here. He does have 10 stick charges, but with a Void Remnant back, that will ensure the kill. And unfortunately, a Hex doesn't stop that hasty chicken.
Pretty insane itemization from 9. I love it. The Lotus Orb is good against the Orchid for himself. It's good against the Roar and the Static Link for the PA. Really enables Skeeter to carry this game once he hits his timing, so I really like that item.
Trying to help out Viper. They give him the whip. They tell him, get the hell out of here. What are you doing? 9. Oh, he's going to be saved by a huge play from 33 with that vacuum with a 3-man onto the wall. GH, they've already taken out the Aegis here. If they can actually catch Miracle before he jumps away, but no, he gets the Dissimulate off just before Viper could catch him with the shackles. Sadly, it does mean that Miracle will get away scot-free here, but still, great save from 33, which could have been a disastrous fight if they lost 9 there.
And he's coming down with the axe on Darkseer. That's going to be a lot of damage in team fights. Basically doubles the damage of Ion Shell and gives you two charges, so you're going to be able to Ion Shell that many more targets. Maybe your own illusions once you get the wall off. They definitely could make a comeback in this game despite being down by 9,000 gold. Like, they have the PA Battle Fury, Pangolier AoE controlled, Puck Coil, and the Darkseer Vacuum. They could blow Nigma up if they ever catch them.
Oh, they got him. Lead off back, giving it the Jackal in time. They will. They just need one more little crit, and they've got him. Miracle goes down. Weehaw's going to man up here with his BKB, looking to be able to chase down Skeeter. With himself in the action movement speed, should be able to find him. Yes, he gets the AoE. That's going to be enough, but now he is officially dead. As Pangolier, Lotus Sword, bounce back, right back at you. Mind control, you may be caught as well here as he TP'd into this fight, so they could just slow roll it if they want to. Mind control has no way to get out of this one, so big turned around from Tundra. BSJ on point as always. You say they can make a comeback out of this, and that is just one iteration of it's a really good fight for Tundra.
Yeah, I just had to make sure I discerned myself from Kyle here.
True.
Gave you some Kyle vibes. Had to give a correct prediction, as they. That was just so well played on the side of Tundra. Yeah, Skeeter goes down. I think that's one of the funnier fights I've seen, where he's getting whipped by Razor and then he's getting whipped by the bullwhip of his teammate. Skeeter getting whipped all over the place. But at the end of the day, bringing down, I think the Razor is much more upset about dying there in terms of his power spike and timing moving forward throughout the course of the game than the PA. The PA is going to respawn to some stacks. He's going to get his tier 3 items with that ancient stack. One of the best feelings to stack if you can right before the new spawns. Gets the Orb of Destruction. I always say Corrosion now. Orb of Destruction. So that's going to be a nice little damage bolster for him. Once he gets level 20 on Skeeter, he's really hard to bring down. He's probably going to take the Blur Evasion against the Beastmaster summons, as well as the Enchantress impetus and the Razor right clicks. And at that point, he's going to be a real problem if he gets the Deso damage item timing with that as well.
Oh yeah, we've gotten some massive upgrades. Between the Orb of Corruption, as you were saying, the effective HP of this hero is about to skyrocket. If he does get his level 20 and the Aghanim Scepter, you know, just a little boost of HP on a PA goes a long way when you're not dealing with any true strikes. So
I restore my
and a Paladin Sword if he really wants it, but I assume he's going to stick with the damage. He's got a lot of sustain from 33. He's almost got his Ags. Once again, that's also extra health.
Right, then smoke up. It is going to break, and they immediately try and jump over to the side, but they miss. Vada was actually just plain old normal in lane. They didn't expect him to be there. They thought he was somewhere trickier. And 33 might still be able to catch him thanks to the Yule Scepter follow-up in the hail. Nobody's really around here from Tundra to be able to bail out 33. He knows it too, so.
TP'd there? I'm actually curious. Maybe he had forced a couple Astral Steps because they had used the Nyx Impale plus Yules. Oh,
Yeah,
the TP on the Hawk. That's pretty cool.
Oh,
A
yeah.
miracle.
A nice little mobile bit of
Radiant's
movement
bottom
here.
tower is under attack.
We'll be able to find Fiverr. Looking to quickly execute him and get out, which is not quite enough damage.
Radiant's
Cool.
bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, the Lotus prevented the feedback damage from the Orchid proc.
Still gonna try and chase him down. The Void Rended. Oh, at max range. Grabs him and pulls him right back to his doom. This is
That's so high risk, because if he doesn't manage to bring Biver down there, he's going to get hexed and probably die.
Yeah.
So, got to respect the balls on this man.
That is the madness of Miracle. He likes for those. Well, the flames for Weehar, at least found by him. Wants it or not. Nigma, this is, I mean, they're up by 7K, but it is slightly concerning, BSJ, right? That this PA is getting so big, so farmed. If he gets that Deso, man.
Yeah, Nigma's heroes naturally play the map a lot better, but team fights, I definitely hand it to Tundra. So, Nigma ever overcommits or gets caught with their pants down for a few seconds, it will almost certainly get wiped very quickly. It's not like it's gonna be this long drawn out team fight where they're gonna be like, oh crap, they're chasing us down. The PA is just gonna get that vacuum Battle Fury cleave.
What do you think about this move from Tundra? Smoking to the other side of the map, the opposite side of the map of Roshan.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of an oversight. I think they were trying to do what they were trying to do top earlier, where they're just trying to get out on the map. And by going bottom, it's probably more reliable based on the way Nigma was distributing their heroes, but then you just hand them a free roach. So maybe that was just a bit of an oversight, I have to admit. I don't think they intended to make that trade. They weren't like, we're going to get out on the map, but Nigma could have a roach. Especially when you have darks here, right?
Yeah, for sure. They do have very good team fight around that Roshan pit.
Radiant's courier
Razor?
has been
They're gonna try and jump Wee here and see if they can pop him real quickly. Now he does have the Aegis support, but still. The second time they're gonna throw out the wards just around Weehaw. He doesn't have an easy way out of that. One quickly kills the ward and runs away. Still though, the Rolling Thunder, they made a catch Miracle as he tried to jump in with the Astral Step. Now Coil goes out. That's gonna snap on a GH as well as Nine looks to be able to slow down even more heroes. They really want Weehaw. They know he has already used his BKB. Pulled back in by the vacuum. Nine goes for another. That's gonna be Curl. Doesn't quite get the passive proc here, but still, the Orb of Corrosion, that's gonna be slow enough for Skeeter to be able to catch up. They'll bring down the captain of Nigma. And things, as you were talking about, the team fight potential of Tundra's lineup, you cannot shirk at it. You cannot scoff it off. It is real and it's terrifying.
Dire's middle tower
I
has
just think
fallen.
Weehaw's straight up disrespecting this by walking into that tier 1 tower without his team around. Tundra read that. I think they had the ward bottom in the jungle that saw a couple Nigma heroes. They felt very confident that Weehaw did not have the proper backup to be allowed to play like that. He's kind of bluffing. If they don't have a ward, they can't call it bluffing. But in this case, losing the Aegis immediately.
Dire's middle barracks
I don't know. That might just be what turns the tides of this game. Dive up.
Yeah, Skeeter banking on that crit. He gets it. He knows there's not really going to be punishment. After all, what can Mind Control by himself really do? He can roar if he wants. Probably get that roar bounce right back to him. So it can make.
You're worried about all these team fight plays. I'm worried about the dive bomb. I don't know if you're watching that.
Yeah, the Hawks coming in.
Something about that is just really effed up, man. You're just summoning these beasts to fight for you, and then they just suicide bomb into the opponent team. Like, why does it have to die? You know, can't it just be an attack? Very morbid, I feel like.
I mean, have you played a summons hero, BSJ? I feel like you always throw your various summons to death all the time.
I just feel like you throw them to death as like shields where in theory they have like a 1% chance to live, you know? Like in theory they could live if the opponent doesn't manage to kill them, but this fuck is willingly killing himself. You know, like he's voluntarily doing it, or you're commanding him to do it. He's not really voluntarily doing it. He's given you the skill. He's a hired mercenary where if you pay 1,400 gold, you can just kill him at will. I don't know. If you really think about it, Cap, I have to imagine you're going to be on the same page with me.
I'll keep that in mind. Here comes the dive bomb. Dodged by Fada. Another bird. Kamikaze down.
Agents of the
They have to be
void.
really careful. I think that fight's step 2 or 3 for Tundra back in this game, and I think if Tundra gets the lead, I don't know if Nigma can come back when we're talking about network. They've already taken the lane of Rax. They have to win the next fight.
Certainly feels that way. Heaven's Halberd for 9. Interesting pickup. He feels like he doesn't really need any damage items. He can leave that all to Peter. Good break. He leads up to the impale. That actually misses. Fada has a chance to be able to get away, but he's caught by the spike carapace. They do have 9 here. Silence up for a second. No, they managed to catch him with a Pangolier. No Lotus, no nothing. He's going to try and stay alive with the swashbuckle away, but he just can't quite get it in time. A big 1-5 puts in Skeeter is still big, and he's still in charge, and he's still going to run down Weehaw, as Weehaw has no hopes of being able to get out of here. Looks like Kuro is going to be in trouble as well. Popping the cheese, goes to TP out. No. That's going to be denied immediately by a bash. Good try, Weehaw, but ultimately it is a resource wasted, and Nigma, they lose that fight, Brian, and it feels like the beginning of the end here for their lineup. They're just running out of gas.
This Void Spirit build just does not scale against pure. You have absolutely no survivability against pure physical damage, and he is playing in Shadow Shaman Hex as well as the PA, who's going to soon have an Abyssal Blade. You know he's going for the Sanzio. He's still got a Basher though, so if at any point you get blink stunned by the Bash, you're probably just going to get bursted full of 0. And that's not really the recipe for success I think Miracle can have is when it comes to carrying this game. As Weehaw, his hero is also going to fall off pretty hard because now that PA deals enough damage to threaten you, and you also have the Lotus Orb to prevent, like it allows Skeeter to commit to the fight without worrying about the static link. Your hero just doesn't serve its purpose anymore. Really shows how itemization can make such a large difference in these games.
Breaking Skeeter here, so you can pop him real quickly. These 2 minutes get to pull back the Astral Remnant, but he gets the DKB. Looks to be able to jump away, but they're going to stay on top of him, and that's enough. Tundra overstepping themselves. Oh, a spike carapace managed to catch Fada. The dive bomb coming in. Fada stunned up for a second. Does manage to get a nice vacuum. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. A 33-9 Wombo combo will take down Nigma. They don't need Skeeter, it seems. Not anymore.
I will say 33, as far as I've seen, is the best Darkseer. This guy's insane on Darkseer. I don't actually understand. Like, this game, you know he must be really good if they're not going to pick him like a natural lane synergy, so his game's going to be less impactful early. But I don't know, man. There's something about that. It has to be like him communicating. It's not that I think his backing walls are better than any other Darkseer I've seen. I feel like every team he's ever on that I've seen when he was on Alliance and all that, that you just see some ridiculous follow-up, that he must be communicating, hey, I'm going to be vacuuming right here, you know, just follow it up with rolling thunder. And it just seems so flawless and seamless and impressive to say the least.
He just has that kind of foresight to like ping an area, like bring them here, you know?
Yeah, I've played with a couple of good Darkseers in pubs. Like I remember back in the day with Universe, and they do ping. Like they do tell you where they intend to land that back. And that's something where that's like the difference between like a tier 1 Darkseer and anyone else really. and it makes a huge difference in late game execution. It's not nearly as important in the grand scheme of like the mid to early game, but that 3-man vacuum into the Rolling Thunder it just demolished them. They actually just evaporated with the swashbuckle follow-up. And mid laners, take note of Nine's build here. You don't need damage if you have a PA. I know we already talked about it, but this is such a game-winning goal for him. Please. We don't need 2 guys that do a ton of damage. Like, the PA wouldn't be doing damage if he didn't have this Lotus Orb to allow him to go in.
Yeah. No, as you say, it is a fantastic build-up that allows the PA to jump on somebody. Doesn't have to worry about the roar. Doesn't have to worry about his damage being drained out. And now Tundra up by 2K. Tier 4 items fully locked up. And, I mean, I think they're just kind of unchallenged when it comes to team fights. They're going to wait for this next Roshan. Nigma, they're going to have to make something very special happen to be able to win this game. Talking about multiple team fights where they totally outplay Tundra.
For some reason, I thought the Ion Shell Aghanims gave him the damage, but it's just the talent, and it makes the dude have more duration. I see. I probably got flamed for that one earlier. I was looking at that.
That's okay. I mean, you got the important points, which is the charges and the increase in.
Yeah, the HP on PA specifically is incredibly effective.
Dire's bottom tower
as the
is under
evasion through the
attack.
summons and all that kind of stuff, and just to prevent him from getting bursted. It's funny how many of these carries, he ends up going for the full abyssal, but as their BKBs are beginning to dwindle around this stage in the game, a lot of them are just queuing up the Sanjin Yasha. It's your only way to have status resistance so that you can reliably BKB. Because against a lot of these meta heroes, you kind of have to preemptively BKB, but it feels so bad if you just BKB and then they manage to disengage. So a lot of carries opt to buy that SNY, so it allows them to hold on to their BKB a bit longer, so they don't have to fear getting bursted before you're using it. GH actually has the Cloak of Flames. That's gonna allow him to get this Eon Disc a bit sooner, I would imagine. That's a pretty important item for him, as you saw, he can single-handedly bring down like 80% of PA's health if he manages to land that Vendetta hit.
Bounty rune's up. Power rune is bottom, just an invis, so not one of those big game-changing ones. Neither team really knows that, though. For all they know, it could be a DD and all important. And man, that's why Miracle's going for it. He does manage to get off his BKB thanks to the interference from his allies. They control up Skeeter really nicely. Slow him down. Wade looking for those last couple of hits, those wards. Now the coil is all throwing them down, but eventually the BKB fades, and they will manage to bring down Skeeter, but they're still a little bit low. And we've seen how dangerous 9 to 33 can be, but this time around, 33 will not have his day. Mind Control takes him out. Now they're going to be able to hit the inhale on Armada. This is the outplay that Nigma needed. 9 going for the TP out. No such luck here, sir. They wipe Tundra, and Tundra, Brian, they don't have buyback on some of their heroes.
Sometimes you just don't push BKB.
Yeah?
Not much else to say. I've been there.
Middle tower
On the
is under
Skeeter side
attack.
there, yeah, like I said, you don't want to push it right at the
Radiant's
start of the
middle
fight like that.
tower
It's
is
just not. Then you get carry-paced by your Battle Fury cleave, Vendetta hit, and suddenly you're popping BKB with 300
Radiant
HP.
structures are
And you have
fortified.
absolutely no impact on the fight moving forward. And that is, if you remove PA
Radiant's
from the
middle
picture in
tower
terms of
is
damage
under
output,
attack.
Tundra's lineup is totally underwhelming.
Radiant's
As
middle
Krogi
tower
has the
has fallen.
Enchant Ancients talent, and that Gary the Golem is
Radiant's
giving them
middle
all 15.
barracks has fallen.
Yeah, that's pretty tight.
Radiant's middle barracks
That's a
are under
very
attack.
significant increase in HP when you've got a
Radiant's middle
butterfly
barracks
on
has
this
fallen.
Razor.
Radiant's
Yeah, that's like
bottom
480
tower
health or
is
so
under
that I think he's getting.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
He's got his level 25 talent, so he is just whipping it.
Gary flexing on the haters. He's not even attacking. He's
Radiant's
too good for
bottom
that.
barracks
Yeah.
has fallen.
He just rules purely through intimidation. That is his tactic. Nigma, they'll take the 2 lanes of barracks and head back for Roshan. And all of a sudden, they are in a commanding lead again. As I thought this is going to be terrible for Miracle, but no BKB comes out from Skeeter, and he just gets chain stunned.
Radiant's courier has been
Yeah, I don't know why you're so skeptical of Nigma being able to take this game moving forward. It's so clear that with one missed execution from Skeeter, that this game was easy.
Yeah, I guess so. And now we'll see if Nigma are going to make that miss execution here in the Roshan pit. They will not. They didn't go for Roshan. They knew Tundra was going to be desperate to be able to interfere. Now they've used their Rolling Thunder. And look at this wrap around here coming from GH. They spotted Skeeter. Skeeter
is under attack.
try and chase him down. Around this tier 2, they going to route it? Yeah, they're going to go. Collapse in on them. Try and get the vision. Immediately try to jump on a 9. 9 pops a minute. 33 being controlled up. They immediately roll over Viper. The core going out. Snap it on to 3. 33 tries to pull him back into the wall as best as possible. But all important is Skeeter on the side. He jumps on to GH. Looking to pull him up, but he couldn't quite get it. Now he's being controlled up by Miracle. Silenced. And now the damage is just raining in. He doesn't have a way out of this one. He's dead. No buyback. Nigma. They were on the brink here of losing this game against Tundra, but 2 good fights is all it takes, as now they should be able to run down the rest. 33 just hoping to be able to buy some time, maybe turn around and kill Miracle, but he cannot, doesn't have the damage, and Tundra doesn't have the heroes, doesn't have the buybacks to be able to hold this game. It's going to be a 2 versus 5 for 60 seconds.
Not exactly what I would call a clean victory for Nigma here, but at the end of the day, after losing 3 series in a row, you're happy to get the W game 1. After it feels like you were pretty heavily in control, but you never know, maybe we'll see some TA rapier shenanigans. They've got so much damage for Beastmaster and Razor. I can't imagine this game will get you.
Yeah.
They do call the GG, and hey, let's just act like that middle 15 minutes didn't happen and Nigma was still failing.
I have to say, I am like shocked with the way that game